Remember, the show is PG-13, so you might hear a naughty word or two.
Norbert's is having a sale on their Rainbow Rocker. Go to norberts.net for a 10% discount on anything with the code GymCastic October. Norbert's are giving away a $50 Norbert's gift card that can be used in anything in their online store. No minimum. Just go to Norbert's Athletic on Instagram and like and then comment on the giveaway post. Good luck. The competition has started. But first, respect must be paid. This episode is brought to you by all the fans who gave Simone a standing ovation immediately when she landed the first ever Yurchenko double pike in world competition. Oh, it was so glorious. And then it's also brought to you by the pandemonium of the men's competition, which is complete chaos on the opposite side. The first three subdivisions of women's qualification featuring the US, British, Italy, Netherlands, and the conclusion of insanity on the men's side happened today. It is October 1st. Welcome to GymCastic, the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica, and I'm here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation. If you're a Club Gym member, remember, switch over your feed so you can listen to the full podcast without interruption. You can listen on any podcast player you want, or if you want to watch us live and see Spencer's faces, then you can go to gymcastic.com. And remember, you can watch qualifications at allgymnastics.tv. Thank you, European Gymnastics, because that's who we think is doing it, paying all that money. 10 podcasts coming to you from Worlds and tons.
This is just day 3. This is only our 3rd. We haven't even, no medals have been handed out yet. Except, to Simone by Jessica. She wishes.
So I wish.
Double pike. Remember, we also have our World's headquarters on the GymCastic website, where you have all the links and the everything, and that's what you need. Go there. If you have a question, like how do I, that's the answer. Go there.
Meet up October 3rd. Details in the forum. And don't forget to download your World's Guide from Spencer, also in the forum. Okay. So today, first things first.
Women's qualification, first 3 subdivisions, end of men's qualification. First things first, you seem like you have something you want to say about Simone's vault.
I do.
That's the vibe. That's the just very subtle, like under the radar vibe that I'm getting from you, is that you would like to talk about Simone doing a Yurchenko double pike, which we now don't have to call the Yurchenko double pike anymore, because we can just say Biles. It's the Biles now.
Which
officially.
Biles is it? The Biles 17, the Biles 4?
It's per event, so this is a Biles 2.
Oh, it's a Biles 2, Vault Biles 2.
It's Vault Biles 2.
Okay. Now
There's
I know.
a Vault Biles 1, a Vault Biles 2, a Beam Biles, a Floor Biles 1, and a Floor Biles 2.
Oh my God, I can't keep track. Okay, so shout out to all the people who stood up immediately when she did her Yurchenko double pike, both in the warm-up, as you should, and in the actual competition. There was a whole group of people. You can tell where the real gym nerds are because they stood up immediately. Because, and I'm borrowing this from my colleague, Will Graves, who said, respect must be paid. Respect must be paid. We are living through history yet again with Simone. I know you bought a ticket, but stand up. She's doing death-defying, amazing, incredible things in front of you. You can't stay. I know if you're in shock, that's okay. If you're in total shock, like the journalists who were there for the first time in podium training who just froze, like he saw God, that's okay. You can stay like that. But I just feel like you're seeing innovation. It's historic. It's amazing. And not only that, it's so, was it even higher tonight? Even Scott Bregman said it was higher. So I'm going to say it wasn't just my feelings, but it was legit even higher. I asked
what
a couple
we've learned is that this is a fully adrenaline-based vault.
It is.
That's what we learned at camp versus nationals, and then camp, and then here. It is fully adrenaline.
The more crowd, the more people around, the better her vault is. I mean, this is like Simone in general. External motivation is very helpful for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just feel there were some people with the cutest little signs for her, little homemade signs. And there were Simone freaking Biles tapestries from her store in there too, which I freaking loved. I love those are worldwide now. But I feel like what actually should have happened in the meet is she should have competed that vault because it was the very end. And then they should have stopped it. And then the president of the European Union should have come out. And then also the FIG president and Thomas Bach should have come back from wherever he lives. And they should have stopped the meet, gave her a medal or a large check or something, a trophy, a even bigger salad bowl, a Belgian crystal Belgian waffle hand.
There were other
And
events
then-
still going
That was
on.
the
This
end
is
of
a
the meet.
competition,
It was her last
not a
event.
little Jessica ceremony.
It was a Simone ceremony is what they should have had. I did ask, Kyla Ross, Olympic champion Kyla Ross, is here. It's also the 10th anniversary of her competing alongside Simone, which was her first Worlds, and Kyla finished silver all around, right? In that Worlds.
Yeah, right?
Simone gave an interview and she talked about it. And she was like, I just couldn't believe my score was higher than Kyla Ross. Just so cute. We were like, we all knew you were going to win, but you didn't. So she's here and she couldn't watch. Deanna has a video of it that she'll put up later, but like she couldn't watch. And I was like, it's literally the safest Yurchenko double pike that's ever been done in the history of gymnastics. Paul Judah, though, shout out to you. And Christian the legs from GB also did a good one. But I asked Kyle Schufelt about it. And he was like, I never did a double Olympic champion, Kyle Schufelt, owner and inventor of the Man Minar before the Amanar. And he said that he never did double flipping flip or vaults because he was like flights, bites. He never did double flipping vaults because they're insane and he wanted to live. And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel too. And he was like, I'm so glad that her coaches decided to stand in, that safety is more important. And I hope that this changes and I hope the FIG goes the right direction. So it seems like hopefully there's way more pressure with the visibility of this for them to not take the deduction for safety, for coaches being there. Still, no one cares about men. Men have been doing this for a long time. No one cares if they live or die. It's just part of being a man.
Anyone who has watched a men's vault final already knew that. Any men's vault final ever already knew that was the whole premise of the event.
Can you live? Congratulations. You get your man card now. Yeah. Oh my God. The poor men. Anyway, so this is how I feel about her vault today. And it was amazing and historic. And I did not take it for granted. Once again, we live in the time of Simone Biles and we should be grateful to be alive in this time. So now, shall we talk about how the U.S. did?
Hectoring one person who decided to sit down.
It wasn't one person. That was the most
important thing.
It was only a quarter of the arena.
We're talking about the U.S. women's performance in general, qualified in first place for now, but that will also be for at the end of the competition. They will be in first with a pretty dominant 171, exactly the score we thought they were going to get. So that was on track for what these gymnasts had been scoring this year overall. I think really the only moment across 4 events that didn't go exactly as you would have expected it to was Sky Blakely's beam. That was the one thing where I was like, where did that come from?
Exactly.
But everything else I was like, that is exactly what we thought. That's exactly what we thought. That's exactly what we thought. So it was just a momentary one moment, a very strange routine, I thought, from Sky.
It was weird. I mean, the only thing that was a little bit different on bars is that Shilese didn't do her double front half, but when she's off, she doesn't do her double front half.
She hasn't been doing her double front half.
Yeah. So
that would have been a bonus. So
right. But yeah, it was weird. But I think Sky really has to change something in her training because this is her third fall in world competition over the last 2 years on beam. So
one was a ribbon's fault. So that doesn't count. That was a ribbon's fault.
Ribbon's fault.
Obviously. I mean, I think that we've all agreed that was
the ribbon sabotage her. It's true.
Yeah, it was ribbon sabotage. That was not that's not a fall from Sky. That's a fall from ribbon. We have to separate
ribbon is a category.
Fault. But yeah, she had that broken series bonus where she kind of paused after the switch half and then did the back. And it was kind of toward the end of the beam, and it was a little awkward. And then suddenly she was falling, and then fell on the dismount as well.
Yeah, which was weird too, because it looked like she got up high, but she just didn't get over. She didn't rotate, so she landed. Her feet landed, and then it was just she was on her forehead, and I was like, oh. So I don't know. So this is what I learned, you guys, this week. In the part where I talk to lots of people constantly, the part where people are like, will you live blog? And I'm like, no, because then I have to get up and talk to people for 20 minutes and then come back. I learned
you don't
that
have to.
I do. In Romania,
you don't have to do anything.
In the gym, in Deva, it's literally the middle of the gym is beam, the stage that it is. So this is what I would like the Evgeny Woga to completely change their entire gym. So the beam is in the middle, one beam, not the beams, one beam in the middle for competition. and you should have a bunch of people come in and watch Sky and just like at any time call her up to do a full beam routine. This is how we fix so Sky will feel confident on beam and can hit every time. I'm sure she'll be fine in team finals, but that's what I would like for her.
Every time this year, though. She had a crazy run of 14s on beam.
Yeah. Natalie has a question.
Shy not doing the Jones, in quotes, that would be the triple L turn on floor. What is this strategy? Yeah, it did not look like she was even like intending to do it. It looked like she approached that with the intent of doing the double L turn into a double turn rather than the triple.
Yep. Yeah, it didn't look like it was there at all. I think maybe she'll wait and maybe do it either in finals or maybe team finals. Like, I think she'll try it. I don't know what's Shy though, because we're always like, she teases us with these amazing things and then she does, then she doesn't do them. Yeah. So who knows?
I think that the way it looked in training, she was not getting it very close to a round. So my guess would be just like, this isn't happening. So we're not going to try it in qualification. My issue with the U.S. women's program is that I think they are too worried about qualification in general. Yeah. Like, you're fine. We're going to talk about the Chinese men later, but they made the team final with the worst meet there's ever been. So You're the Chinese men. You could Chinese men at qualification. It would be fun. Like, try things.
Yeah, exactly.
Qualification is when you have the luxury to try things.
That is the thing. I feel like their strategy is completely opposite of what it should be. Like
qualification's more important than the team final. Yes.
Relax, you're gonna make it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this was also like Simone, no problems. Hit everything. Did better.
Problems.
As we expected, because when there's a crowd, she does better. Make it quiet for her. This is how she has mistakes. Like, she did great, as we expected. Was that more like full out dance than you have seen her do before?
There was a moment where I was like, okay, Simone.
Yeah.
There was a moment in the corner. I wonder if anyone else noticed it. When was it? Like after her first pass, like right before her second pass, where she was in the corner, and I was like, Simone, look at you. What is this? Yeah, I did have that moment during her floor.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, there's a crowd here. This is what she needs to go full out. So I'm super stoked for her. I feel like she has everything's in the past. She's good to go.
It was nice to see her go to like a world meet and be Simone. Again. Mm-hmm. And she looked comfortable. It wasn't like she hit and did, got big scores and did amazing gymnastics. Yes, it's Simone, but she looked like, I got this.
Yeah.
Like her bars, which was really clean, her best bars of the year. She started with really, really good. She could make bars finals, by the way. She can make all four.
Yeah, this is the other thing is like Laurent said, she's better. She's one of the rare gymnasts who's better in competition, and like this is what we saw. She is better in competition. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you also hear? I don't know if you could hear this on the stream, but the announcer after she went was like, a lot has happened in the 10 years since Simone was last here. And one of the things is that the announcer finally learned how to say her name. We've gotten 10 years of mileage out of him calling her C Money and Simone. And I feel like she'll always be C Money to me. Like, it's the best nickname you could ever get.
Mm-hmm. That is what happens in my head every time I see her name written.
Yes.
It's, those things where it's like mnemonics you learned as like a 5-year-old that you still think about and how to like to spell things when you're like typing together and you're still like to get her. And I'm like, I don't need like a mnemonic to learn how to spell together, but it's still in there. When I write Simone, every time it's Simone.
This is
Biles.
Actually how like kindergartners should learn the alphabet. Is with Simone. Simone.
Like one of those banners that has like all the letters with like an animal or something next to them that you have in elementary school classrooms, but with gymnasts.
It should just be Simone doing every letter shape.
C is for Simone.
Oh God. Okay, so we did bars, we did beam.
We haven't gone through the whole thing, but we can keep talking about it. Bars, really, really strong first rotation. Everyone was right on. I thought that was.
Could you tell that Shiley's hit her feet on low bar?
No. Also, neither did the judges because she got a huge execution score.
That's the thing. I was like, did she really hit her feet? Like people that were nearby said she did, but I don't feel like she did.
I didn't see it, and she didn't get deducted for it.
So it didn't happen. End of story. That's
Okay.
that. Then on floor, also shout out to Joss. Seriously, Joss, it's her first Worlds. She's had so many meets this year. She was like so worried about switching gyms. She's roommates with Simone here. She is like bringing it. You would never know this was her first Worlds. Also because what's that? International experience doesn't matter, even though she has it.
It's
has
like plenty, but your first Worlds does not mean anything.
Yeah, she did
but
great.
Someone said in the comments it was Leanne who hit her foot on bars.
Oh, Leanne who hit her foot. Thank you, because I was like, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I was perfect.
I was like, I don't think that's right.
How dare you? The feet will never touch Chylise's feet. The bar will never touch her feet.
The feet will never touch Chylise's feet. They can't touch each other. They're like magnets.
Wolf turns were giving people across the board problems today. Joss sort of fell out of her wolf turn a little.
Not even on beam. Like
not even
floor
beam.
Wolf turns.
The
there was a
wolf
lot
turn.
of like standing up during your wolf turn and teetering around. Yeah, it was an issue.
Yeah, so the lesson really is stop doing wolf turns because we hate them. And so do you, be honest. What else? Simone didn't change her tumbling, right? Her double layout was always last. She does her full in start. Yeah. Her also the first, I don't know did you guys see on the stream their warm up for floor?
It was on the stream, but I was probably watching something else.
Yeah. She just stands there and does her punch, front layout, full step out to double. Like she doesn't, start with a double back or a full in or a double layout. It's the hardest pass because
mess with this nonsense. Yeah.
Simone things. Did you think, because we've been expecting the US to get hammered on floor with correct judging the way they do not get by the domestic judges, especially in the E-score category, did you see differences in the judging here, taking out the things like people, obviously like a little boop out of your wolf turn?
Yeah, I thought that the national championships floor execution judging held up pretty well, which was, I think, the most critical floor execution judging we've seen in the US at nationals, and I thought that compared pretty well. As we've talked about, like the things that change the most at Worlds don't tend to be the execution, it's the difficulty score evaluation. And we saw a lot of things not getting credit. Like I was only doing this in my head, not on paper, so maybe don't trust me on it, but I think every US gymnast had a downgrade in their floor routine. Like I don't think anyone got credit for everything they performed in their floor routine.
Yep. I did ask Leanne about that specifically because I was like, Leanne, I know you totally follow your scores and know what did you? And she was like, yeah, I didn't quite get, what I expected. But shout out to Leanne because she did pimp out Owen she came over to us and she's like, you guys, I want to show you something. Pimped out her coach to show the shoe bows he's wearing for her boutique empire. And her coach wearing them. This is Owen's like greatest gift to gymnastics. He's wearing those. I was so proud of her. I was like, you go make that money. Make that bow money, Leanne. Yes. And the fact that she came to us to show off, get this on camera, you guys. Oh,
very
yes,
important.
Leanne. Bow empire. Go
now they
for
need
it.
to get Owen wear one in the hair like everyone else.
Yes, Owen, come on. I mean, baby steps. But if Laurent wears the bows on the shoes, then she'll really be like breaking everybody down. Then we'll know.
Laurent needs to wear the bow on the polo shirt.
Could you see how long those polos were again? They were like practically down to their knees. Can they get this Nike sponsorship can't start soon enough because these freaking nighty shirts that they're wearing like pajamas. I can't
feel
even.
Like a lot of gymnasts say at one point they like want to start a clothing line of clothes that fit gymnasts, and then they never do.
No,
but
Mochiano tried it.
Clothes for gymnasts.
Sacramone tried it. This is what we need. Okay, I have to tell you guys about the scream. The scream that scared the crap out of all of the media area and most of the other gymnasts. But this is where we say goodbye to some and we continue the conversation for Gym Nerd members, because Club Gym Nerd members, who, by the way, is a paid membership where you are like, I appreciate this coverage and I would like to sustain you through your 10 years, 11 years that you've been doing this, and through Paris and beyond and wherever worlds are going to be, and through the 2028 Olympics in LA. That's how it works. So remember, we're also giving away a full commissioned episode to a Club Gym Nerd member. You can't buy these anymore. The only way to win is this giveaway. So you have to be an active member. So make sure you guys who are here are all active members. But if you're not, go make sure your membership is active. And so I have to tell you about what happened with the scream. Okay. So the meet's about to start, right? So all the teams are in the back. Mm-hmm. And, like the announcer starts and, the lights go down. And so, the smoke starts. My God, thank God they have all these theatrics now. Remember the years where there weren't these theatrics? God, I love fire and smoke. So the announcer's about to start, but suddenly there is like a blood curdling scream